Expectations from the unknown, social mobility, stereotypes, and post-black identity. It's a long, long title. Sounds like a master's title. It's a long one. But I'm sure most of you have seen what has been installed in Gallery 3. Don't be surprised that you are standing here, but the exhibition is not right here. It is in Gallery 3. The reason for that is that the foyer tends to be a little bit narrow and small for such a big number of people. So we decided that we would all assemble here first and then go and view the exhibition afterwards. I would like to invite Kulegani P. Mubadi to come forward and give us the exhibition context. What is this exhibition about?
Hello everyone. As Dr. Clara has mentioned, my name is Kulegani Mubadi, and I would like to thank you for actually attending this exhibition. It is our honor to actually have you here. The title of the exhibition is, Dr. Clara said, it looks quite complex, but in this show we are actually attempting to tap into the idea that as a young contemporary artist, emerging contemporary artist, we're actually trying to cover the idea that both of us, we are coming from the world, and we are coming from the world aliens and into urban space. As two of us, we have studied at the University of Technology, fine art, and then we had to find ourselves, working in a higher learning institution. I'm a DUT, and the other Kulegani is a KZT. So that speaks very well into our content in this particular exhibition. Basically, social mobility is based on the idea of moving from one space to another and acquiring various experiences and certain positions in different areas. So this exhibition is based on the exploration of the media and then also exploration of our lives as Black artists, and in particular for actually living in urban space. So I would like to also mention that this exhibition was also inspired by the fact that we are living in I would say, post-colonial world or post-apartheid era, whereby we find our identities as Black people so complex in the sense that in urban space it is not actually easy to recognize as to who belongs to which race and who belongs to which class or who belongs to any social institution. So in that regard, this exhibition also taps into the period. It is also inspired by other key texts that we have read and I and Lengani have read. For the method that in post-apartheid as the youth, we actually in charge of choosing which race or gender that we want to be allocated into and which space we want to actually acquire in terms of our position through our neighborhood. So then this exhibition is also inspired by that particular theme. So you will see that the exhibition itself is also, our artworks are quite based on experimentation that also reflects in our everyday life as young black people who know our good urban space. So everything it is based on experimentation. No one can be said to be in control or be in charge of our own life. So we'll find it through music or mediums. So yeah, I would say that sometimes we find that our typists, sometimes they tap into political issues, sometimes they will tap into social-political issues. So as we know, our disadvantaged past, like as people of the color, then that is also that kind of experience. So we try to actually reflect on it. Because we find that, especially in public institutions, we have people of color have so many spaces or so much positions, and then they have to want to actually acquire our sense of national identity. So this exhibition also attempted to tap into that aspect. So yeah, I would like to try to stop there. So please enjoy the show.
Thank you more for Mr. Wamakuru. Namazu, as far as I was called to exhibition. So we now know the context. And it's up to us to go and view the exhibition again, enjoy it again, and come back to the artists and ask them more questions, because they are still here tonight. Thank you both. Now I'd like to invite our curator of exhibitions, Thulani Makai, to come and officially open this exhibition. While he's coming, I'd like to also colleagues who are here from different departments, some other managers, maybe I can name them now, Mr. Nene, Mr. people from City Fleet and ITA. We are so honored. And Mr. Shabalala, the teacher of these two artists, he taught them, so he is here. We are very, very honored. Thanks. Thulani.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I think so much has been said, and my role is very small. Almost half of my size. So, okay, as per below, what I've acknowledged everyone to their positions, our artist, Mr. Zamai, whose head has molded these two young men to what they are today. Their parents have seen Kulegani's mom, I think Kulegani trained so I think that's a good support to give to artists, especially when they are in nature. That they know what they chose to study at ICT was not a futile exercise, was not a waste of parents' money, but was something was almost a vocation for them. And through art, we get to learn about society, we get to learn about their self, their psyche, their position, assessing things that happen around them. So back to my prepared speech, which I think I'm trying to summarize. The exhibition, as Mr. Klaza has said, sounds like a research topic, It's quite complex, but it's very easy. It's quite open as well. So both artists are a reflection of our youth because they are still under the age of 35, so they still belong to the peak. So over a decade ago, the Arab countries experienced Arab Spring, and recently we experienced the mass fall movement, which happened mostly in tertiary institutions. So these two events illustrate how our youth are now being proactive in deciding for us as leaders. They are now trying to give us a new direction in terms of what is it that they want to achieve and how they will achieve it. So through the use of social media and other connections, they manage to organize themselves into a single view, with a single purpose. So similarly with Kuligan Toy and Kuligan Kubana, they chose this theme of social mobility, stereotypes, and post-black identity to reflect what is their view in terms of what is post-apartheid South Africa at present. Now, having said that, the social mobility is a sociological term. It also means that our society reflects or accepts or rejects everyone. But through the mass fall movement, what we discovered was that in as much as our government has tried to address social imbalance, certain things keep on failing. So the black middle class found itself being victimized by being rich in terms of assets, but financially poor. And yet they are the ones that are carrying the burden of our society's staff in terms of how the society's needs. So through tax, through social welfare, the middle class is the one that suffers a lot. Petrol increased the state aid last night, so the middle class is still suffering again because they have cars. So cars are a reflection of social status. But incrementing petrol affects them as well. So they end up becoming rich by poor. So they carry all these things in themselves, but they are the ones that are indebted. They go to the mashobisas, they no longer afford, they answer their private calls because they don't use creditors. So now how does all this link to the execution? In as much as I'm relating to my prepared speech, but how does this reflect or link to execution? In 2018, Andrew Alcock and Diana Zulubeluji, Andrew Alcock is a lecturer at UT. Together with Diana Zulubeluji, they ran a study called Positioning Home for Resilience on Campus, First Impression Students, Negotiate Powerlessness or Powerfulness, Condition in South African Higher Education. So this talks to these two young people from their background in Hammersmith and Mariannhill, and to find themselves in town, and to maneuver their way in the team. So the study focuses on people like them, how first generation students survive at a teaching institution. So Tyler and Kubani, they admitted to AUT, and then they chose to do fine arts, which was not something that most black families would have done. So it was some form of defiance in their art, but I think they had a body. So through attending the university and studying towards, through attending university, what they did was they elevated their family status. But to study art led to an anxious expectation from the family members and society. What type of job does art have? Does it guarantee income? What if no one buys art? So those are the three main questions that we all had to answer at some point in our lives. I think even Tantagaza, to now write a master's on another research thesis on those three questions from us as black people. So the black, post-black identity is another factor that we need to look at. Post-black identity doesn't have a singular definition. It comes from different aspects because it looks at things like how black are you if you've been taken to school, or how black are you if you are is a Roma and also a Roman wave. So these are those things. But also in terms of arts, we had terms like creatives, we have terms like cultural workers. So how do those two terms fit in the exhibition? The basic definition of a creative tends to assume that there is a class of people who are naturally talented towards creativity. But a creative cultural worker has a moral position, so they don't do art for art's sake. Their art and writing has a moral obligation. So that's what is an underlying thing in this exhibition. The titles of the work by the two artists illustrates that topic like hierarchy, titles like nation building, so they speak to that. But post-black identity was a term coined by Elmer Gordon, who was a director of the Studio Museum Harlem, New York, and Glenn an artist. In that definition, they say post-black identity refers to artists who view their art as not being limited to or for being about blackness. So art must be universal. It must be versatile. It must be accessible. So you must not look at the color of the artist first before you understand his work. Look at his work and his concept. Then the race, religion, sexual orientation, those follow later. But artwork is an expression of an artist's work. However, Torre, another writer who wrote a book who is afraid of post-blackness and what it means to be black now, suggests that the term is constructed. So there is no singular description as I mentioned. However, we must not be bound by negative saying because we are black, then our minds are black. And our outlook of life is black. So we must move away from it, we must shift. And then try to do things or try to understand how life has evolved. We are now in the 21st century and things have evolved. So we must not be stuck in the past. In the South African context, this looks at a person who we tend to classify as a coconut because they are made from outside but they are white inside. I think a similar statement was also mentioned by Frantz Fanon in his book, Black Face, White Mask. So those are tend to look at that. Those are some underlying things that the artists interpret their work. So, Tere and Bugani, they have interpreted themselves in the identity culture, but due to their socio-economic realities and without the aid of NSFAS or some other financial resource, their qualifications may have found the balance. So, we must thank the parents and the relatives who sacrificed their monies and assets for these men to undergo university training, qualify, and gain employment. But also importantly, they can create employment because arts itself is an industry. So we must not look at what the government can do for us, but we as artists, what we can do for the government, what entrepreneurship ideas we have to promote our national identity as South Africa, as a citizens as well. So, then I've skipped that. So in my conclusion, I would say the exhibition is beyond a visual expression. It demonstrates the diverse and flexible meaning of social mobility away from this generic definition of a change in position, as clearly said, but also shows the external force such as politics, economics, and access to education can shape one's ability to move to the next level. And this is some they move according to the lotto, and then they go back to corporate others. We don't have financial education in our system, in our academic institutions. So financial education is important as well. That's a different topic. So for the two artists, what I've said is it's a very valuable exhibition. Looking forward to the exhibitions, the things, and So, having said that, therefore, declare the exhibition open to the public. They must enjoy and look beyond the artwork. Look at the title. Try and find out around the title what ideas are generated in you from the title and the artwork. So, I thank you.
Thank you, Chulan Sawaba. The exhibition is receptor as Nakulu Chulan, curator of exhibitions. But before I proceed to the last item, last part one item, I would like to again thank Tulani, Makaya, Nati Chani, Naki, Mwengwe, Siana, for the hard work they have put in so that this exhibition could be installed. They have been working very hard. It is not easy to install art exhibitions. It's very difficult, but they have really worked very, very hard. Thank you so much. Now I'd like to invite Kulegani Tselena to come and give us a vote of thanks.
Hi everyone, I'll be very short and sweet. I'm not sure how sweet. Uqala ngaphambi konke akukho ukudlula ukuma wami njengoba phakathi kwethu ngaphandle kwakho Dr. is present also. Without our families, we are nothing. We believe that everything started at home. Without our homes, we wouldn't be now. So we'd like to pass our message to everyone from our families, community, those people who came from our communities, even though they don't understand what that is. But because they know us, they're here. We appreciate it a lot for your presence. It means a lot to us. Dr. Kanaza, for allowing us to come here. We like to thank you. That work that we've been through with you, Mr. Tulan Makaya, we appreciate your patience, your efforts. We speak as a language, this is our Mrs. Jabu. I'm not sure if she's here. We appreciate a lot. This is about our love exhibitions. What they've done in that exhibition, you see, if you haven't seen it, it's amazing. It's on another level. I've been in this game of history and know it's a hell of a mission. So we appreciate Lucky for it to we appreciate a lot. Communication that we have with others. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot for installing from Mujali, Unati, Lakim, Mia, everyone present is with a lot to us.
Now, Tulani, can you just come forward again and tell us what else will be happening after tonight? Will there be a walkabout? Will there be a talk? Well, what will these artists be doing after tonight? Thank you. After Tulani's announcements, can we please, I'm not going to come here again, can you please go to Gallery 3 and look at the exhibition, but first of all, go to the foyer, enjoy some refreshments there, and socialize, and talk to artists again, and just enjoy the evening. Thank you for coming. Thank you.
As part of the exhibition, tomorrow the artist will conduct about 10. So it's 10 to 10:30. It's free to everyone.